Hello, welcome to my end of the year recap movie video. This isn't going to be like my usual videos, as you can tell. It's not a ranking. I'm just going to be talking about the movies that I saw this year. I saw way too many good ones, not too many really awful ones. I couldn't really, it wouldn't be right to rank them. It would be too hard to rank them. It would make sense. I leave off a lot of stuff I do want to talk about, so I'm going to talk about them. And I'm not going to talk about everything, I'm just going to talk about the ones I want to talk about, because I did also see a lot of forgettable garbage this year that isn't so bad that I would like to talk about it, but it's not good enough to talk about. It's just in purgatory, and it will stay there, and it will never be mentioned again. So, let's, first, I would just like to thank you guys for watching all my stuff this year. I know I said I was going to do a lot more, but I didn't. I did do some of it. I did movie commentaries. I did some smaller videos. I did some shorts. I did what I could. The year was not very kind to me. It was easily the worst year of my life for a multitude of reasons. So much bad shit happened this year that I could make a whole best and worst list, and it would just be the worst. I don't think there was a lot of good that happened this year, but it was really hard to make videos and be motivated to make videos with all the shit going on. And even when I did make videos, they would get claimed and taken down, and it was just exhausting, and it felt like I was putting a lot of work into stuff for no reason because of that. But I think this next year I am going to actually do more. And yeah, if you watched anything I made this year, I do appreciate it. Thank you so much. I had a lot of fun. I did the wrestling event. I always do. That was super fun. That's always super fun. I made the Flash video. The Flash video was great. Easily my best video I've made in terms of like views and interaction, the comments, even though a lot of people got really mad at me for what I had to say about the Flash, which is that it is not a good movie. But it is not the worst movie ever made, like everyone was making out to me. I was actually very kind in The Flash. I was pretty surprised at the backlash. So for some reason, people got really mad at me, and I thought it was funny. I made the movie commentaries, the Stuart Little one, the Last Airbender one, which got taken down, sadly. My Gremlins 2 video was up for like a couple of weeks until, it got taken down again, because I'm not allowed to, talk about Gremlins, apparently. I just want to give a quick shout out to my friends who helped me make the videos this year. Melissa, basically, if you see a thumbnail on my channel and that thumbnail doesn't look like utter total shit or is better than usual, it's usually because she made it, so shout out to her. Her link will be in the description. Go say hi to her. Don't be weird about it. Just say she makes nice art. Give her a follow. Jordan and Bill helped out with videos this year. Jordan doing the movie commentaries with me, pretty much in every single. I don't think I was a single one he didn't do, where we didn't do it together. So that was very nice of him. Those are super fun to make. I actually got two sitting somewhere on my computer. I know where they are, but I gotta edit them and upload them if and when I get the time. I will. I'm trying to make more stuff. The Saw video. You guys might not know this, but I'm working on a Saw video that is pretty much done. I'm gonna have to re-edit it most likely because it keeps getting claimed no matter what I do. Might have to get some editor help. I might have to rework the whole thing. We'll see. But that video will be up by the end of the month, or I will jump out a fucking window. Let's see. Anything else I want to touch on? This year, let's talk about what I want to do. So, I have two big videos I really want to make. One is Saw and one is Wreck. The Wreck series, I watched all of them, and I started working on a script, and I got all the footage and all that, but it fell through. It was just it's gonna be a huge video. I mean, I'm talking about 4 movies plus the remakes, and I'm trying to do something really cool with it, and I hope that it comes out this year. We'll see. That's a long shot though. That one I have some big ideas for, and we'll see about that, but hopefully I'm able to do it. More streams. I want to try and stream more. It's really hard for me to stream because if I'm not streaming with friends and I'm just doing my own thing, it's kind of boring. Not because streaming is boring, but because I don't have anything to do. It's not exactly easy for me. I can't really get really creative with it. I don't have a good enough PC to play fun games. The frames are constantly dropping because I need a new PC, basically. Hopefully I can get a new PC, but that's besides the point. And that's about it. I think we're ready to start. Those are the plans, and thank you for watching. And yeah, I hope you enjoy, and hopefully you watch some stuff that I recommend and you avoid this next movie I'm about to talk about. Now, even though this isn't a ranking, I will be going from worst to best just so the video ends on a more positive note. I won't be talking about every bad movie I saw. I'm just going to talk about the really bad ones, the goofy bad ones, and any others I feel like throwing in there. Really, but it's not going to be a lot, because most of the movies I saw that were bad are just not worth talking about. They're mostly just boring, except Wonder Woman 1984. You see, this movie isn't boring. This is hell. This is like what I would put on for someone if I didn't like them. Like, if I really hated this person, I would say, hey, you want to watch Wonder Woman 1984? And they'd be like, oh boy, I loved the first Wonder Woman. I can't imagine how good this one's going to be. And then they would just hate it. It would be awful. It is like 3 hours long of just nothing. It is so boring. The CGI is awful. The line delivery is awful. Pedro Pascal is doing everything in his power to be a good character. And he is entertaining. He's the only good part of the movie, literally, at all. If there's a single thing about this movie, it's him. And it's really just that. Everything from the story, to the special effects, to the line delivery, to the writing, to the everything. It's so bad. Oh my god. Just avoid this movie at all costs. It is awful. I thought it would be fun bad when I watched it. It was not. Me and Eddie watched it together, and let me tell you, it was a struggle. We had to power through it. We should get a medal for watching this movie. It was not easy. It was not easy. But yeah, that's the worst movie I saw this year, and it's not even close. I'm dead serious. It's not. There's like a really big gap between Wonder Woman and anything else I saw. It is fucking terrible. The goofiest movie I saw, Moonfall. Moonfall is incredible because it makes no sense. And also is really funny. Everything is so funny and so insane. This movie's main plot point is that the government, the moon is falling, right? So obviously the moon is falling, it's important. The moon is falling and the government wants to nuke the moon. Now, I don't need to explain to you why that makes sense. Obviously you would want to nuke the moon, that's just duh. Duh. So yeah, you should probably watch this movie, it's great. I mean, it's awful, but it's great. It's fantastic. I can't recommend it enough. I saw The Outwaters, which was a interesting idea. It was kind of like a Blair Witch idea where a group of people go somewhere and they get trapped in like a time vortex or whatever and something's attacking them. But it's just not scary and mostly just confusing. And the main reason is you don't see anything. And I don't mean like, oh, you don't see the monster. I mean, you don't see anything because the entire movie takes place in the desert with no lights. So you literally see nothing. There's nothing. Which just doesn't work at all. So that's that. The Outwaters, it was nothing. I saw The Flash, already went over that. The Flash is not a good movie. I wouldn't recommend watching it. Easily the worst special effects of the year. And it's just not good. It's very, very not good. It's actually worse than I was way too nice of it to it in my review of it. It's not good. Old and The Last Airbender. These two I'm going to talk about in a combo package because they are both so bad it's good. Can't recommend. They are both made by M. Night, by the way. Like, this man just hits. He either hits or he hits. There's really no in between. He's either like an incredible filmmaker or he makes the worst, best thing you've ever seen. And these two are just fantastic. Personally, I prefer Old. Old is so funny. I watched it with my friend Alyssa, and we were not intending to watch it. I just kind of was like, we were just talking, hanging out, and I just randomly clicked on it, like, oh, let's see what this is about. And we just I kept skipping like 5 minutes, and every 5 minutes something stupid would happen that made no sense, and we would laugh. And we just watched the whole thing and just died laughing. And it was just such a great time. I love this movie. It's fucking terrible. Last Airbender, same thing, very silly. You all know about The Last Airbender. I don't need to explain what it is. It's very funny. I'm going to give my award here. This is an award. Yeah, this one? Big award time. The Creator. When I saw the trailer for The Creator in theaters, I was like, oh, that movie is going to fucking slap. And it did not. I saw it at home on my TV. And on my TV, I said, wow, this movie looks very good, but also this movie is really funny because every line of dialogue is super bad. It's actually crazy how they took so many good actors and made them deliver lines in the worst possible way you've ever heard in the funniest possible way in this very serious movie that is like an allegory for racism, and it just isn't good. Yeah, that's about all I gotta say. It's just fucking bad. I don't have much to say about that. You know, you follow. I'll say this: the main two. I can fix this movie easy. So here's you do. You get rid of all of the bullshit exposition shit that they have. Get rid of the mom character. Only have it be this dude and this robot. They learn how to he's just trying to track him down. And then they're friends and they grow and you grow to care about him. And then by the end of the movie, you beat all the blah blah blah. You know, very generic, understandable story. But at least it would have been better than whatever the fuck mess we got that is horribly paced. Equalizer 3. It's my best intro. That's a movie that I watched and I remember the intro. It's awesome. Look that up on YouTube. Very cool intro. And then the rest of the movie happens. I can't tell you a single fucking thing that happened, but damn, that intro was cool. Oh, we had Five Nights at Freddy's and the Super Mario Bros. Movie that came out this year. They were both mid, but lots of fun to watch with friends. I watched Mario in theaters. It was a good time. I watched Five Nights at Freddy's with Eddie. There's a video on my channel where we watched it together. Fun time. They're both not great movies by any means, but they're fine, and they're fun to watch with friends, and also they're video game movies that are pretty good video game movies. So, you know, as a gamer, I can't help but be happy about that. I watched The Artifice Girl. If you haven't seen it, it's very, very low budget, very under the radar movie, but it is very good. It's just about AI, and you probably roll your eyes hearing that, but I'm telling you, this movie surprised me very much so. It's a very interesting premise. The way it's just shown, the very simple way it's shown, I guess, is very cool. It's a cool movie. I highly recommend it if you haven't seen it. Great time. I also saw Talk to Me. I didn't like it as much as everyone else did, not even close to how much as everyone else did, but I respect the hell out of it even existing because it's just such a cool story. If you haven't seen the behind the scenes of how it got made, of it getting picked up, it is such a cool story that I'm very happy it exists. And I'm super, super stoked for the sequel because I can only imagine they will improve on it. I have my problems with the movie, but I do really appreciate its existence and I can respect the hell out of it for even existing. And the performances are great. Everyone does a great job. The special effects are great. It's got its moments. I love the montage sequence. I just felt like it kind of stretched my belief of what would happen in that situation. I get the allegory for drugs and the whole thing, but it didn't work for me because it doesn't do it. I don't think it does a good enough job showing just how addictive it is. The hand and all that. I think it could have done better in that department because I just felt like not everyone gets addicted to drugs, you know, and it just seems like everyone was addicted to the hand, which made no sense, you know what I mean? So that's just how I felt. I also watched Audition. Audition is a story about a man who hosts he's like a producer guy for a movie studio, and he's like sends out all these auditions. He's having women audition for a role, but really they're auditioning just for him to like try and date them, which is kind of messed up, but you know, he's trying, and it's pretty heartfelt because his wife died, so he's just trying this thing, and it's a good movie. I recommend it, and yeah, it's solid, and it surprised me. I'll say that it was interesting and kind of sad. Oh, we got a new Hunger Games this year. I watched that pretty recently, and it surprised me. It's actually a lot better than you probably think it is. The first half is like a solid 8 out of 10. It really is good. There's a lot of interesting things they do. They don't do a good enough job at showing the character for the character he is. because I think what they're going for is that, you know, the main guy is obviously President Snow. You follow him and his origins, but I think they're trying to make it seem like he's always got another motive and he's always evil and he's not a good dude. But they don't do a good enough job at showing you that he truly is an asshole. And I wish they did, because that would have been way more interesting if they really nailed it. I just don't think they nailed that. Trick or Treat, I watched. This pumpkin guy right here, this fucking pumpkin guy. Look at this pumpkin guy. Goat. I love this guy. This guy, I love him. That's all I got to say about that. This is a Halloween classic. I've never seen it before, and I'm glad I finally got around to watching it. Ooh, Sanctuary. Sanctuary is gonna get my my award for most horny movie of 2023. Goddamn, there's this too horny, but also that's the point. It's a pretty interesting movie with a lot of power dynamics. Probably one of my favorite performances of the year is in this movie, so I check it out. 2 thumbs up from me. Beau is Afraid is a movie by Ari Aster, the same person who made Hereditary and Midsommar. I don't like Midsommar at all, but I love Hereditary, so I was pretty excited for this, and it's not as good as Hereditary, but it's not a bad movie, and it's certainly not as bad as Midsommar. This movie is a very ambitious and interesting film, and I liked it. I appreciated it. It's very funny, it's very weird, it's extremely weird, but I think that it is pretty interesting, and if you like weird shit, check it out. Guardians of the Galaxy 3. I have very mixed feelings on Guardians of the Galaxy 3. On one hand, it's a great movie, great soundtrack, great characters, great story, really good villain, and it's just really a shame that it fails to stick the landing for me, because every time I watch this movie, it gets to the end and I go, wow, I really wish some more characters fucking died. Because it just seems like somewhere there's a script somewhere out there on a desk that says people fucking die in this movie, but they just don't. Even the main villain doesn't. Like, you don't see him die, and that's crazy. You know, that's wild, and I feel like you needed something there. You needed something extra, but they don't have it, you know? They don't have it, and that's a real shame. I wish they really went for it. But I still really did enjoy my time with the movie. It's a fun time. It's a good ending to the story of the Guardians, and I cannot wait for Marvel to ruin it with 1,000 more sequels. Thumbs up. Yeah, you go Marvel. Alright. We're at the point where we're talking about the real shit now. Okay, these are the things that I watched that I said, damn! That fucking slapped. And, so I'm going to talk about most of these. Because they're just all fucking awesome, and you should watch all of these movies that I talk about right now. No One Will Save You is a movie I saw, and god damn it, let me tell you, it's so cool. It was so cool. I usually don't love alien movies because they're pretty generic. This one was fucking weird, and I loved it. This movie had Glupo. You motherfuckers don't even know who Glupo is. I bet you it's Glupo. You gotta love him. Hey, everyone. Glupo, round of applause. Just a wonderful person, wonderful guy. Rest in peace. But yeah, this is just an alien invasion movie, and it's great. It's a lot of fun. It's scary. It's tense, and it's kind of silly. And it knows it's kind of silly, and it leans into it. And I liked it a lot. It's on Hulu. I cannot recommend it enough. You should definitely check it out. Dream Scenario is another movie that I've watched very recently. It's about Nicolas Cage, and he keeps appearing in people's dreams in one way or another. Basically, it just kind of seems like it's by I don't want to explain it because, you know, that'd be kind of lame. Just watch it. It's very weird. It's very fun. He gives a great performance. It's very funny. It's silly. I mean, god damn it, dude. Like, people just show up in this movie, and you're like, oh, you're here. Why are you here? It's crazy, dude. Fucking Greg's in this movie. I didn't even know why he was in it. He just showed up. I'm like, fuck, that's Greg. Barbie. It's good. I'm not going to talk about it too much because obviously you know it's good. We know it. We know it's a good time. We've talked about it. Everything that can be said about it has already been said. I don't want to waste too much time about it because I don't have a lot to say about it other than I really enjoyed it. I thought the production design was great. All the acting was great. Ken is great. I'm Just Ken's a good song. We move. Asteroid City. A movie about making a play, about making a movie. It's very weird. Or a movie about a TV show about the making of a play. I think that's what it is. Wes Anderson's style is really, really weirdly hated on. A lot of people don't like it, but I think it's so cool to have a director with a style, you know? There's so many movies that are just thrown together with no sense of rhyme or reason. So I think it's really cool that we can have a director like Wes Anderson with such a distinct style and idea for film, and his movies are always very interesting and cool, and they look great, and they sound great, and the acting's usually really good. And even though some people might fuck with it, but I fuck with it hard. I fuck with it so hard, okay? Now, my favorite Wes Anderson movie, not the only Wes Anderson movie I'm going to talk about, but still a great movie. Let's talk about a movie that I think people fucking forgot about. Evil Dead Rise. Why the fuck did we just, as a collective, forget this movie came out? Every list I see, every top 10 list I see seems to forget to mention Evil Dead Rise. And I don't know why, because this movie is so good. It is so good. I mean, yeah, I did this year with Stacked, but yeah, at least mention the damn movie. I mean, this movie is fantastic. It is an Evil Dead movie to the T. It is paced fucking... It's probably the best paced movie of the year. I'm gonna be honest. This shit is just... It's perfect. From beginning to end, there's not a wasted moment of time in this movie, and it's awesome. Love it. I cannot recommend it enough. If you like Evil Dead, it's great. 2 thumbs up for me. La La Land. I hate musicals. I don't like musicals. I think that they're just not for me. I don't like the music, and they're like most musicals have the same type of music, and I don't like that music, so obviously I won't like the musical. Could have a great story. I don't give a shit. I'm not listening to your dumbass songs. Sorry, forgive me. However, that's where La La Land comes in and says, hey, we don't have that many dumbass songs. It's just really, there's some songs in there, but they're all kind of awesome, and also the story's fucking phenomenal, so shut up. And I was like, oh, fair. And I shut up and I watched it. It was great. If you don't like musicals, check out La La Land. I love it. I hate musicals. I couldn't even tell you a single other musical that I enjoy. That's saying a lot about how good this movie is. Eddie's favorite movie of 2023 was Bad God. He loves this movie. He loves it so much. He always talks about it. He always goes, John, Mad God, it's so good. I loved it so much. And I go, Eddie, I know. I mean, it's so good, right? And he's like, damn, I wish we could watch it again. And I'm going, yeah, I know, right? Mad God is my favorite stop-motion animated movie I think I've ever seen. It's phenomenal. It looks so fucking cool. Everything looks cool. And it tells a pretty interesting story visually that I don't fucking understand. I'll be honest. I don't get it. I don't give a shit because it looks so cool. They could have just kept doing weird shit. I mean, like, I'm watching. Just keep going. There's a really cool scene where they're driving. I'm like, holy shit, how'd they do that? And he's going down, and it's just, oh, it's so good. It's so good. I can't recommend it enough. If you like stop motion, you gotta check out Mad God. Such a cool movie. This next one might surprise you guys because you might have assumed I've already seen it because it's so famously amazing and good. I watched Schindler's List for the first time at like 3 in the morning or something. Yeah, it was great. It was fantastic. It is truly one of the movies of all time, and I say that unironically. It is just such a powerful and super depressing watch, but it's so good. Yeah, that's, I mean, what do you want me to say? Schindler's List, very good. 2 thumbs up. I can't really say anything besides that. If you have never seen it, it is probably better than how much everyone talks about how good it is. It is very, it's not an easy watch by any means. There is a scene where a kid just gets fucking 360 no-scoped in the middle of the street. And, yeah, that was fucked. I remember that's gonna stick with me for a while. I remember that. But yeah, great movie. I didn't realize that fucking Ralph Fiennes was in this. He's a piece of shit in this movie. He plays like the worst person ever. Great movie. I can't recommend it enough. Check it out. Really a great movie. Let's talk about another Wes Anderson film. This is probably maybe my favorite Wes Anderson film. I'd have to think about it. I don't know if Grand Budapest is better, but this one was really good. The Royal Tenenbaums. The Royal Tenenbaums follows a family, the Tenenbaums, as they reconnect and do some fucking shit while they're trying to reconnect with their dad. The dad tries to reconnect with them, and it's a very, very heartwarming story, and it's great. It's just a good time. It's just a fucking solid ass movie that really hits. It hits really hard. The Holdovers. The Holdovers said, "Hold my beer." The end of 2023 rolled around. This movie came out, and like, I think it was that way before, but I only watched it on New Year's Eve, and I watched it and I said, damn, that's a movie. That's a good fucking movie. It's incredible. It's probably, I don't know, I'd have to think about it, but it might be my favorite performance of the year from Paul Giamatti. He real surprised there. He kind of killed it. He kicked so much ass, and it's such a cool story about people learning to understand one another and come together and find a mutual respect and understanding and love for the people around you. And it's just so fucking heartwarming and nice and cool and epic. And they say fuck like a lot, and there's so many funny moments in this movie that are also equally matched by some of the saddest moments in any movie I saw this year. Can't recommend it enough. Fantastic movie. Definitely check it out. Great movie. Instantly a Christmas classic. Easily. It also feels like a movie that was supposed to come out in like the 80s. It just has that vibe. But it came out now, so hey. Thumbs up. You get a thumbs up, movie. Good job. You made me happy. The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. I talked about this movie briefly. When I made my Girl in the Spider Web video, but I didn't really talk about why it's so good, because I wanted you guys to watch it yourselves. And I hope you did. I hope you did your homework, because I'm going to talk about it a little bit more now. I'm not going to spoil anything, obviously, because I feel like this movie is kind of underrated, at least in my opinion, because I feel like when people talk about David Fincher, they talk about fucking Fight Club, Gone Girl, Seven, but I didn't even know he directed this movie. That's how under the radar this movie is for some reason. It's pretty fucking incredible. This movie is just, it looks great. Easily the best performance in any David Fincher film coming out of Rooney Mara. Daniel Craig is great. The story is so intriguing. The soundtrack is so good. The tense moments are so tense. This movie is so stressful that the most tense moment comes from two people researching shit on laptops. Alone. There's no threat of danger. You just are so stressed that you are just like, holy shit, what if someone does show up? But there's no reason someone would. You're just stressed out. It's fucking awesome. I love it. Such a good movie. Really, really check this one out. I mean, fantastic one. Love it. Probably my second favorite David Fincher film. Just gonna say that. It's really good. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. It's incredible. I know, you're shocked. I'm shocked too. Who could have seen this coming? It is beautiful. The animation is great. It's extremely funny. The action is cool. The characters are awesome. The music is incredible. Everything about this movie is good. What do you want me? What do we want me to say? There's nothing else. It's incredible. Every single frame is like actually a painting. They were really going ham on every single piece of this movie. It's crazy. If the third one is better than this, I will genuinely be shocked, because they have set the bar impossibly high, and if they jump it again, I don't know how they would jump it. I don't see a world in which they jump it. Hopefully they can match it. Another animated movie that I saw very early this year, Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, which is another incredibly beautifully animated movie that I really enjoyed. I think that the characters are great. Death is such a cool villain. I think that it could have easily, it would have easily been the best animated movie I saw this year, but unfortunately it was the same year that Spider-Man came out, so that's tough. That's a tough one. You know, you're going up against God, basically. Little David and the Goliath situation here. Except it's more like a Goliath and Goliath, except the one Goliath is way bigger and stronger, and it's basically like a really big Goliath and another tiny Goliath, and they're fighting, but you know what I mean. The point is, Puss in Boots, great movie. Check it out if you haven't. I'm a fearless hero. You know, that song? That's in it. Very cool. Alright, moving away from animation, let's talk about a fucking adult movie, huh, guys? Let's talk about, for us big boys and big girls, Saint Maud was a surprise. I had heard nothing about this, except that it was good. I did not expect for it to be extremely fucking good. This movie is so good and so underrated, it's crazy. You should really watch Saint Maud. I'm not going to tell you anything about it because going in blind is the way, just like I did. I didn't know what the fuck it was about, and I'm glad I didn't because it made the experience way more interesting. Go check out Saint Maud. Really, really good movie. Alright, we're reaching the end here, so I'm going to talk about my top 4 movies. I was going to do top 5, but fuck it, I'll do top 5. I'll do top 5. We can do top 5. Around here, we can do top 5.
And now, our feature presentation.
5 is The Royal Tenenbaums. I already talked about it. It's really good. I love it. Also, I should note that I think objectively speaking, the Schindler's List is probably the best movie, but I am going to exclude it because this is my personal opinion of movies that I would watch personally. I look at it on the shelf, I'm taking that shit off, I'm popping it in, I'm having a good time. So these last 5 movies are that. Number 4 is The Killers of the Flower Moon. I did not expect for The Killers of the Flower Moon to be a movie that I enjoyed very much. However, I really loved it. I loved the acting, I loved the story, I loved how slow it was, I loved the performances. Leonardo DiCaprio plays such a stupid asshole who obviously knows what he's doing is wrong, but he's too stupid to do anything about it. And his subtle... You can always see on his face that he doesn't like what he's doing, and it's so... His performance is so good. It really is. I saw a lot of people complaining about his performance for some reason, but I think he nails it. Lily Gladstone obviously does a great job. The story is so sad and fucked up and awful, but it's so good. It's fantastic, and it's such a cool story that got told by someone who knows how to tell a good fucking story. Number 3, Babylon. Damn, this movie is incredible. In my review on Letterboxd, I said this movie loves movies and hates movies, and I think that still stands. This movie is all about how hard it is to make a movie. Or at least, I don't know. I don't make movies. Maybe it's not this hard. Maybe this movie's bullshit, but it shows just how much of a mental toll filmmaking and being an actor or actress or being a producer, how hard it can be, or how hard it was, and how bad the conditions were back in the day. And, I don't know, hopefully they're better. But it's just such an interesting movie to watch, and it's so much fun, and so funny, and so good, and the soundtrack, oh my god. Just a grand old time, okay? This movie is super slept on. I remember when it came out, everyone said it's not that good, or they just, no one went to see it and it bombed. That's crazy that this bombed, because it's fucking incredible. Seriously, check this one out. Super good movie, can't recommend it enough. Had a blast watching this one. Number fucking 2, boys. It's John Wick 4. You knew it was John Wick 4. I knew it was John Wick 4. I watched this last night, actually, just to make sure it's as good as I'm about to tell you it is. This movie is a masterpiece. I'm not fucking around when I say that this is one of the greatest action movies I've ever seen. It is that good. Every single scene in this movie is awesome. Everything looks cool. They went out of their way to make everything look cool. You will see two people talking in a room and your reaction will be, wow, that's fucking awesome. Where are they? This shit looks crazy every single time. It is so good. There's a scene where John Wick beats a dude like literally he beats his head on a drum. That's fucking awesome. And he gets nunchucked and beats people in the balls. There's a cock and ball torture scene with nunchucks. He's falling down stairs. I mean, oh my fucking god. Masterpiece. And if they make a John Wick 5, I hope fucking whoever's decision is to make John Wick 5, if it comes out, please throw them off a roof. Dead serious. They deserve to never be in a room in charge of making movies ever again. Please just let them know that. They are awful. Anyway, that is number 2, John Wick 4. If you haven't seen John Wick 4, go watch it. That's all I gotta say. Go watch it. Bill, if you haven't seen it yet, please pause this video. No, don't even pause it. I'm almost done. Just let me finish and then go watch John Wick 4. Okay? Do that if you haven't seen it yet for some reason. Okay? Thank you. Bill, specifically you. I know you are hopefully listening to this. Please watch this fucking movie. You'll love it. Anyway, on to number 1. And you're probably knowing what number 1 is. You're probably like, John, you haven't talked about this movie yet, so obviously this is number 1. And you're right, it's Oppenheimer. It's Oppenheimer. It's incredible. It's probably Christopher Nolan's best movie. The soundtrack is fucking insanely good. The acting is insanely good. It is so fucking cool. The story's cool. It's 3 hours that feels like not 3 hours at all. Everything is great. The editing, the soundtrack, the acting. This movie is going to sweep at the Oscars, and for good reason, because this shit just fucking slapped. The Trinity test. That entire scene, dude. Holy shit. When I tell you, that entire scene and the, oh my god, the aftermath, the bomb. Oh my god. Dude, that is fucking movies right there. That is why movies are made and why we watch movies, because that shit is so hard. That shit goes so hard. It is incredible. It is so impressive to make a movie about an event that everyone already knows the outcome of, and somehow still have every scene in this movie be stressful as all hell. I mean, that Trinity test scene and the scene of the aftermath, the bombs dropping, I mean, that shit is so stressful. It's so well done. It's crazy. Oh, man. It's crazy that fucking Josh Peck can show up, and I'm just in here like, don't press the right button, fucker. What's gonna happen? Oh my god, oh my god. It's just, man, one of the coolest theater experiences I've ever had. Fantastic movie. Fantastic year for movies. I really had a good time this year. I mean, there's so much shit I didn't even see. I mean, so much shit I didn't even see because there was so much shit that come out that I didn't even have, like, I wasn't even wasn't able to see it or just wasn't in my theater. So yeah. That is the year recap. I didn't talk about everything. If you want to see any my list of the rankings, please check out my Letterboxd. That will be in the description with the list if you're interested in anything I have to say. I talk about a lot more movies on there than I will on here because I watch a lot of movies and I can't talk about everything. So like, come on, give me a break. Hopefully this year will be a lot better. I plan on making more videos. I really, really do. I mean that this time. I have a lot of stuff in the works already. I'm looking at a couple ideas I have. I'm going to see how I can do them, but I'm pretty excited. And I hope you enjoy. I hope you watch some of these movies. Let me know what you think of what I talked about, or if I left something off that you really liked, or if you have any recommendations, or whatever the fuck, you know? Hopefully you had a good year. Hopefully you have a good year. And yeah, I know this was a very rambly video. I know it wasn't as very edited and in-depth as I usually go here. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. It really means a lot if you made it all the way through, or if you've even watched a little bit. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Have a good new year. And yeah, thank you again. Sully, I'm taking him out right now. Promise, buddy, we're going outside. Alright, Sully says Happy New Year as well. Alright, good boy. Yay, woohoo, Sully cameo, right at the end.